Phase 2 of the J.A. and Kathryn Albertson Family Foundation Boise Whitewater Park opened in 2019. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Dent, and while this area does get heavily used, it's never really worked as intended. So it's back to the drawing board with construction happening this winter. This week, engineers performed fish salvage before beginning the process of dewatering this section of the Boise River in order to make some changes to Phase 2 of the Whitewater Park.
And the hope is that by February they'll be out of the river and before the spring runoff starts, and that we'll have a wave this summer that will be more usable for all of our kayakers and surfers that enjoy that part of the river.
Over the past 3 years, Boise Parks and Rec have hosted monitored sessions at the expert wave because a dangerous keeper hole would form behind the wave when river levels changed. McMillan is an engineer firm out of Boise, and this winter they will install a 6-panel flashboard and a new gate downstream of the wave, but they still need to make sure irrigators get their designated supply of water in the Farmers Union Canal.
So there's a lot of factors that our engineering and construction company has to take into play. There are a number of permits that we have to have in order to do this construction, and that's why it's taken 2 years for us to actually get to a point where we can now get back into the river and actually get the construction done.
Even as we head into winter, you can still find surfers over at Phase 1 of the Whitewater Park shredding it up as the popularity of surfing in the Boise River has grown tremendously.
I'm one of those new surfers that started about 2 years ago, got hooked right away on it. It wasn't until this last spring when I have a few buddies around here, they're like, dude, you gotta try Phase 2. You gotta get the right board for it, but it's a gnarly wave. And getting on there, it's such a different wave than this one. That's why you'll see lines forming out there when it's in the morning for just 2 hours or even in the evening.
Kayakers I've talked to want to see a redesign of this feature, intended to be a freestyle hole, but it's not deep enough for them to do loops, cartwheels, and other tricks. Doug Holloway says they will make minor adjustments to the natural rock features, but it all depends on the redesign of the expert wave.
Most of the issues that we've had with those, we believe, will be corrected once we get the adjustable wave fixed as well. So we believe we'll get more flow coming into that first drop.
This will not cost taxpayers any additional money because the city of Boise never signed off on the project because they never got a workable wave, something kayakers and surfers hope changes this time around.
If they're able to bring that going full time all day long, it's going to just be a whole nother cool thing to shred out there.
I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Dent, for Idaho News 6.